YouTube, please don't demonetize this video. It's a serious discussion about a current issue. Please enter this with an open mind. With each passing day, it seems like anime is put under more stress than ever before. But the more recent issue is one of the trickiest to me. It stems from criticism that anime sexualizes little girls and encourages pedophilia. Those are some serious claims, which have got Reddit banning images depicting lolis, and the UN trying to do the same. Regardless of how effective or threatening these moves will be, I feel I absolutely must reveal my stance on the issue, because quite frankly, what these organizations are really trying to do is infringe upon our creative expression and police our thoughts. Furthermore, banning any particular subset of the medium of anime will in no way prevent real-life issues of child abuse, as there is truly no link between the two. To address this, we will look at both criticisms separately. For starters, we have to ask, does anime sexualize little girls? Well, yes it does. I won't kid you there. The majority of characters in question are loli, girls who have yet to go through puberty, and like almost every anime character, they wind up getting sexualized both in and out of official works. That said, a lot of this criticism is a blanket statement over all anime, and that's where it no longer holds water. When it comes to animation, stylized depictions of fictional people, where do we draw the line between child and adult? The United States has a very basic measure of this, the age of consent being 18 years old. Basically, age of consent laws declare that anyone younger than 18 is a minor who cannot legally give consent for sex, because society does not consider them responsible or independent enough to freely be involved with intercourse or other sexual acts. It's designed to protect people, and I totally support that. But how does that apply to anime characters? Well, we could go by a character's canonically listed age, but that concept falls apart quickly. This applies to real life too, but more so in anime. If you were shown a list of anime women without knowing the stories they came from, would you be able to identify their ages based solely on how they act and look? They're drawings, after all, in an art style that generally favors youthful-looking characters. As such, the same character design can easily pass for a variety of different ages. In more extreme cases, the age a designer chooses to give their character can be completely contrasted by the way they look and behave. Let me show you what I mean. All of my favorite anime characters are sexually developed, strong-willed, capable, and combative young women. They empower me and serve as role models in my life. To me, they're all pretty responsible and mature, dealing with incredibly impactful issues, putting their lives on the line, etc. Yet, if you do some digging, you'll find that these similar types of depictions are associated with a variety of different ages. Here's Tifa, the fighting gal I had a crush on as a kid. She's listed as 20 years old. Then there's Velvet. She's just the best. A total badass, super sexy, and look, she's 19 years old. Then we have Ryuko Matoi. Again, she kicks ass and has a rockin' bod. She's... wait, did I read that right? 17? Here's Artoria Pendragon, the noble king of Britain, who again is both beautiful and dangerous. She's... well, it depends on the country, but her body seems to be stuck at either age 16 or 15. How about one I consider to be one of the sexiest anime gals of all time? Alyssa Ilinicina Amiela. That underboob is what lured me into the addictive God Eater franchise. She's slaying giant monsters with a ridiculously large sword. She's refined, mature, and what the heck? She's apparently 15 in this picture. How about Violet Evergarden? She's an earnest, professional woman who is exceptionally mature, capable of taking on entire military squads single-handedly. How old is she? Then the most insane. Yoko Littner from the first half of Gurren Lagann, one of the most iconic sex symbols in anime, is listed as 14 on Wikipedia? What does that say about me? Honestly, nothing. I like all these characters for the same reasons. and I see them all as being plenty adult for the situations they're a part of. The question I'm posing to you all is, are the younger girls I mentioned any less adult in behavior or appearance than their older counterparts? Let's look at Velvet and Alyssa side by side. To me, I see no difference between them in terms of appeal. Heck, between them, Alyssa could very well be the more mature and responsible of the two. If I find Alyssa attractive for the same reasons I find Velvet attractive, and Velvet is okay, then Alyssa honestly should be too. Let's look at Artoria. She's at youngest 15, at least her body anyway. While there is a design of Artoria where her body was allowed to age, and this design is definitely more curvy, that doesn't mean a more endowed physique means someone is inherently older. If you compare Artoria from Fate Zero to another character, Bazette from Fate Hollow Ataraxia, my point becomes clearer. Bazette, as she's depicted here, isn't particularly well endowed, and yet she's 23. While Bazette is naturally taller, there's really no difference in the sexual appeal between the two women, despite their canonical ages being 8 years apart. If it's okay to find Bazette attractive, then it's fine to be attracted to Artoria for the same exact reasons. In fact, it's quite possible to find a younger anime character more attractive because they appear older than one that is 18. Comparing the youngest, Yoko, to Marie Rose from Dead or Alive, we can see that Yoko is absolutely more developed than Marie, and yet between them, Marie is 18 while Yoko isn't. This is further exaggerated by how Marie acts. She's childish, energetic, and whiny, while Yoko is determined, maternal, brave, and understanding. I don't view any of these women as little girls the way they're depicted. The only real difference between them is that their respective artists slapped a different arbitrary number on them. Artoria, Yoko, Ryuko, and Alyssa could all have been labeled 18 or older, and nobody would have found that unbelievable. Thus, in my own headcanon, I either ignore or alter the character's age to fit how I view them. A person's age means something in reality, since age laws are there to protect real people. But fictional characters do not require this protection. That's one of the things we love about fantasy, its ability to remove itself from the limitations of reality. Inversely, there are some characters who are actually aged way older than they look. There's Shinobu from Monogatari. She clearly looks like a young child, but is actually older than the entire cast. Even Ilia in Fate Stay Night is technically the older sister between her and Shiro. All in all, ages in anime are mostly arbitrary. The people who enjoy these women see them as just that, women, not minors, and that's because of how they're drawn and presented. Whereas some people look at a character's age and see that as a justification for being attracted to genuinely childlike girls. And that is where loli comes in. Anime girls who are drawn with prepubescent details. This is where anime does sexualize fictional children. But even then, the existence and popularity of loli characters doesn't necessarily indicate a rise in actual pedophilia. Let's get one thing clear. Loli drawings, animations, games, whatever gets made, I can safely say that none of them are actually child pornography. They're drawings made by adults, voiced by adults, written for adults, for adults. Children are not involved in the creation of these works, and nobody is being exploited. While some of its viewers may be genuine pedophiles, that doesn't mean we can blame loli hentai for their predatory behavior should it arise. Someone who indulges in fantasy must be old enough and mature enough to realize that the fiction they're immersed in is just that, fiction. The same applies to the worn-out attack on violent video games. Even if you were to find a correlation between someone's exposure to lolis and their treatment of children, the correct solution wouldn't be to strip away the artistic content. No, the correct way is to be responsible for what you consume and enjoy. In the case of banning lolis, this becomes a very slippery slope. Right out of the gate, when Reddit declared their ban on loli, people were getting kicked off for posting pictures of anime girls that no one in the anime community would consider lolis. The girl pictured here is not a loli. Going by the exact same logic I presented earlier, she could easily be 18 or older. Thus, what these bans are going to do is flood the internet with bigots who think they know how mature a fictional character is better than you do. That's not going to protect anyone. The same time and effort spent policing people's sexual fantasies could be used to raise money for causes that actually help children, such as shelters, sponsorships, or other charitable causes. Thus, at the end of the day, I don't care what you think about anime, but I do want you to realize it's not causing people harm. It's a massive fandom with great people, and I hope this channel can show that to even the most skeptical critics. While I can't make this official yet, I would love to create a set of charity streams that use sexy anime games to raise money for a great purpose, such as for St. Jude's or cancer research. I have nowhere near enough support for that at the moment, but hopefully one day I can make that a reality. And if you agree with that sentiment, please stick around as this channel continues to grow. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This video is intentionally less flashy than my normal videos, because I don't want YouTube immediately demonetizing it. That said, let's take this to the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this channel, help me beat the algorithm by liking, commenting, and sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and most of all, smashing that notification bell as if it were your waifu. That way you'll never miss out on all of my anime content, lore videos, live streams, and Holy Waifu Wars polls. My vids are struggling to get featured, so that bell is absolutely critical. If you want to support me directly, check out my Patreon, or consider donating via Super Chat. And as always, celebrate your fandom.